Good evening. And tonight, in this special tribute to the Two Ronnies, we bring you today's news headlines. A story just breaking tonight concerns a cement mixer that has collided with a prison van on the Lythe Valley Road. Motorists are asked to be on the lookout for 16 hardened criminals.
We'll be bringing you a report about Ethel Wainwright, the station announcer at Victoria, who married engine driver Dick Crankshaw today. Her dress was a white organdy with lace bodice, and her train was 20 minutes late.
And we'll be hearing from a very disappointed guest at the Charles Dickens Society annual nudist weekend. He had great expectations, but it was a very bleak house, and everybody laughed at his little Dorrit.
We'll also be talking to the farmer who crossed a gossip columnist with an apple and got a golden malicious.
And we'll be hearing how a government survey published today reveals that the Prime Minister is doing the work of two men, Laurel and Hardy.
But first, today's news. George Mumble, the home county's most henpecked husband, died today. By the terms of his will, his ashes will be scattered all over his wife's new living room carpet.
The Ministry of Defence have announced new pay scales for the Army, heavily favouring the NCOs. Said a new recruit, "It's all very well for the sergeants and the corporals, but it's a nasty blow to the privates."
The House of Commons was sealed off today after police chased an escaped lunatic through the front door during Prime Minister's question time. A spokesman at Scotland Yard said it was like looking for a needle in a haystack.
The search for the man who terrorises nudist camps with a bacon slicer goes on. Inspector Lemuel Jones had a tip-off this morning, but hopes to be back on duty tomorrow.
In the divorce courts today, an 85-year-old farmer divorced his 17-year-old wife because he couldn't keep his hands off her. He's now sacked all his hands and bought a combine.
The public were warned today to go on the lookout for Joseph Gomez, a Spaniard last heard of living in Tooting, whose mother was a nun in Barcelona. A one-time flautist with a symphony orchestra, he is wanted for looting in Haifa, where he worked on a farm. The police urge people to look out for a Haifa-looting, fluting, tooting son of a nun from Barcelona, part-time Cowboy Joe.
We've also heard that in Hounslow this evening, a mad dog bit an income tax inspector. After being given injections and treatment for shock, the dog has been allowed to go home.
And in next week's programme, we'll be talking to a man who crossed a table tennis ball with an extremely tall chamber pot and got a ping-pong piddle high code.
And we'll be hearing from the police, who are desperately seeking the man who steals the ends of news items. The man is described as tall and grey-haired, with a very big. Until then, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Good night.